until exactly 9.
It probably won't, knowing because art. One thing about once you dim me, then I think it's on you. I think.
No, we're live now.
Ah, we're live. Go ahead, babe.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversations with K and K. I am Kimberly Coleman, Sister Girl Speaks, and I'm gonna try to do what Art does. And
There
next
we
to
go.
me
Hello,
is
everyone. I am
is
K
K Renee.
Renee.
Yes.
K Renee Mason of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and happy Friday. We made it to
Happy
another week.
Friday. We want to welcome everybody. You all, we are trying a new service. We are trying the StreamYard. If you're hearing a little feedback, I'm sorry. We're doing this. We are also on YouTube tonight. So we are on two different streams. We famous. We big time now.
We
We
made
ask
it.
those of you who have joined us. I know that there are a couple people that have joined us tonight. If you are just joining us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, you can stay over here at Facebook, but we're working on some things, and we are just happy that you are here with us this evening. Hey, Renee, how are you this evening?
Well, it's Friday, and even though I'm sure I don't know if you get the Chicago weather, it's been raining like cats and dogs. Although the weather's supposed to clear up tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, and I
Yeah,
know we need rain, but it was kind of inconvenient in my house, so I had to take care of some things. But other than
yeah,
that, it's been a very um, tumultuous week in news, and we'll be covering that tonight. Just so you know,
yeah,
ladies and gents, it's just the two of us. We want to talk about some things, okay?
yeah.
We love our guests. Trust and believe
But
us.
we just
We'll,
wanted to chit chat, have a
we
K
needed
and
to
K
talk about some
conversation.
things. Exactly.
Um,
So,
what you talking about the weather? So yesterday we had a big it was supposed to storm badly here. In fact, a little I think north of us it did. A lot of people lost power. There was going to be a lot of hail, and so I plugged in my phone, plugged in my computers, made sure that they were okay. But we got a lot of rain, but the storm passed us over. But this
thank
weather
God.
systems everywhere is very weird.
Yeah.
I know you all, some people I talked to in Chicago today, we're talking about turning on their heat. And people were saying they want to have gloves and
Well,
hats on today.
yes,
So
the temperature.
is that how my city was clowning?
The temperature went down in the 40s. I will say that. And yes, I will acknowledge I did have to put on my little heater. But it is, I always look at things on the opposite end, right? The glass half full as opposed to half empty. Empty. I was just thinking, I just need a snuggle buddy and I'm good. But I didn't have no snuggle buddy. I need a snuggle bunny.
A
Now,
snuggle buddy.
a
All
snuggle
right. Well,
bunny. Now,
I think Art is having a show to
I
help
know.
you with that.
I know, but
And
it's not
for
coming
those
to
of
a couple
you,
of weeks. I needed one
yeah,
today.
you need one today. Well, let me just tell
Preferably,
you this.
wait, preferably
Go ahead.
Kim 6'4", okay?
Oh
Nice
Lord, she's gonna
slender
put it all out here.
frame. Just a little snuggle buddy. And I'd have been cool,
Now
but
you'll be all right.
I'll be all
All
right.
right, I'm not even gonna say. Well, well, if you got a brother, send him here. So that
I
would
will
be
do
good.
that. I believe in sharing. Only if he has another brother. I don't believe in sharing. That, but that's for another
That's
show.
another show. Yeah, that's another show. We talked
That's
about
another
that.
show.
Um, just so we talking about weather. I have a girlfriend that lives in Canada. It was snowing there today.
What part of
Now
Canada?
Prince hit
Toronto?
song that says sometimes it snows in April. He
Yeah.
ain't said nothing about no May.
Wait, where was this in Canada? Toronto?
She's in Toronto, I believe.
I believe
Mhm.
now. See, I don't doubt it, Kim, because I've been in Toronto many times on business. As beautiful as
Yeah,
Toronto
yeah,
is, trust and believe that
yeah,
it
yeah,
can snow
yeah.
in May and it can snow in June. So there you go.
Well, I won't be moving there because I think The latest I've ever seen in snow is late April. That was right before I moved here to Oklahoma. And we had like four snowstorms. And the last one was at the end of April.
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes it does. I guess she showed us that video, and we were in a chat room, a chat group with my friends, and we were all like, sorry. And I think Canada is still on lockdown. They have not gotten the rollout of the vaccine like we have.
And can you blame them? As I said, if you, for our viewing audience, if you never get a chance to travel, I would encourage you to travel to Canada, any other provinces, whether it's Ontario, British
Yeah.
Columbia, Alberta, Quebec, even PEI. And people are like, what's PEI? Prince Edward Island on the
Right.
other side
Right. 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 Right.
of
Right.
the East Coast. It's beautiful there. I I remember when I was traveling a lot to Canada, I was singing their song, "Oh Canada." My dad was like, "What the heck is wrong with you? You're an American." I was like, "Hey."
It's a beautiful anthem.
Oh my goodness, yes. And then I
Well, let
love
me.
their
Yeah.
maple leaf cookies.
I didn't have those.
Oh
I went
goodness.
on a cruise years ago
Mhm.
to from New York. We went out of New York to Halifax and St. John.
Ah.
Now I'm gonna tell some of my parents' business.
Uh-oh.
My parents went on like a 2.5 week cruise. They started out in Florida, I want to say Miami, and it went all the way up to Canada.
Okay.
And you have your options of taking, I guess they call them excursions or whatever. So my mother chose, I don't think my father did this, but my mother chose to do it where every stop that they stopped was a part of the Underground Railroad.
Nice.
So she went through every state,
Mhm.
and then the slaves knew they were free when they were over that. I think there's a bridge there.
Mhm.
Is that you go to Canada? So she went through every stop, went to see where they would hide, went to see where they would escape, and all of that. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's for when the cruise lines open. That's something to think about. I don't. Have you ever been on a cruise?
Once.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
not a cruise person
Oh,
because
you're not.
I
Okay.
got very seasick on that
Oh
cruise. And it was a family, we had a family reunion on this cruise called the
no.
Big Red Boat. It's been over 20 years ago, and we had
Oh,
close
that was a
to
while ago. That was a while
70
ago.
70 family members. I mean, it was very
Oh
good.
my
We had a
gosh.
photo. It was really nice, but I got seasick. And I said, I can't be getting on no cruise. No.
I think that they've probably. I don't know. You'd have to check it out. The first one I went to, that where's Pacific Island is California, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we went like March, and the water was choppy, and I got sick the last day.
Okay.
And then I went on another one. That's the Canada one I went on,
Okay.
and I never felt the boat move the whole time. But somebody told me to don't get the bottom, because I think when my girlfriend and I went, when my mom and I went, we were at the top, but because we had a balcony and everything, but we were at the front of the ship. And
Okay.
somebody said get the middle of the ship
Okay.
and get the top. So that's
Okay.
just something to think about.
I have to really consider
I understand. I understand. You know what? Well, I'm not gonna say that because that's
what.
to me. Well, this is what I said. I was very angry when I got off that boat. And I
Why?
was angry because of the slaves coming on the ship. And I can't
Yeah.
compare it. I don't want to demean that, but
Yeah.
this is what I hope I conceptualize this the way I want to. I had a bed, food, my clothes, and I was miserable as all get out. And I just kept thinking about my ancestors
Yeah.
who didn't have anything
Yeah.
and was on a boat going like this, not knowing where they were going, stripped of everything. That was what I thought of. And I was so pissed. Because I was like, I can't even imagine. Okay? I can't I
would
you
think.
understand what I'm saying?
No, Kim, I definitely understand because I would think during that time that you experienced that, I'm sure one of your ancestors or several just probably came through you to let you experience what we have heard about, we've read about, right? So, and maybe there's a reason why I don't do cruises. Could be, and I've never known it internally or subconsciously. And we're gonna be talking. I mean, ladies and gents,
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about a lot of things that have happened, and certain things are gonna
Right.
happen in a couple days
Right.
that kind of relate to what Kim is referring to.
Right. And that's why we can't whitewash history. And I remember, I don't want to stay on this, but I got to say this. When Ben Carson became the Secretary of HUD, he gave a speech, and he said that the slaves were at the, anybody, y'all can YouTube this, were at the bottom of the ship, dreaming of the new land and thinking about how generations to come would live in that new land. And that pissed me off. First of all, they didn't know where they were going. They had lost everything. And for someone who was a neurosurgeon to be giving out information like that and making it seem like they were on a Carnival cruise line made me upset. So, as you said, go ahead. You don't remember that?
I don't. And
maybe you've erased the last 4.5 years.
I'm telling you, the moment that President Joseph Biden put his hand on his Bible and
January
did
20th.
the oath of office, anything that did with former idiot in chief, I won't even say his name, and anybody associated with former idiot in chief, including, which I really, what bothers me about Dr. Carson, I really admired him. I saw the story of how he came into prominence, and I'm sorry, ladies and gents, what the hell happened to that man?
I don't know.
mean, really. I just, we're gonna pray for him because everyone has a chance for redemption, but
I don't know. But we really went off topic on this one.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I guess that's what Kandid Conversations with K&K is about. You all welcome to our show tonight. This is Kandid Conversations with K&K, where we talk about just about everything tonight. Right. Again, this is our first night on YouTube. We are excited about it. I was checking the YouTube channel, but welcome to everybody that's come in. We have a few people that are watching us this evening. Okay, Renee, before we get into everything, let's start off the show with some positivity. Tell me a nugget for this evening.
Yes. We're going to need some nuggets because we're about to get into some serious stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think about this, ladies and gents. About strong people, right? Because, and I'm trying to get the nugget here. Just bear with me a second.
You're fine.
Here we go. We're going to talk about some strong folks because all of us are strong. Mm-hmm. But here's the nugget. Strong people don't put others down. They lift them up. Mm-hmm. And today is Food for Thought Friday. # lift up people with strength and hope.
Right.
So even though we're going to be talking about some really tough topics tonight, I'm really hoping, as we're going through this holiday weekend, that whatever you're doing, ladies and gents, continue to lift not only yourself, but lift others up. We need it now more than ever. Yes, the pandemic, everybody thinking COVID is gone. No, it's not. We're still having cases. Unfortunately,
people are dying,
being fatalities. So, and there are a lot of people. We're closing out. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you see a person down, it is your duty to lift them up. Because I guarantee you, ladies and gents, when it happens to you, God always sends his angels to lift you up.
Yes. Word to the wise. That reminds me of the Bible verse. There was a Bible verse on a Bible plan that I'm in. It is Colossians 3:12. Be gentle, kind, humble, meek, and patient. and that's from the word of the Lord. So that is one of some of the best advice. Like you said, give to people and just be good. Be a good person.
Yes.
Good person. We There's a couple of things that we want to acknowledge. The first thing is we want to send our condolences to the people of San Jose. There
Yes.
was a shooting at a place day before yesterday where 8 people were killed, and that is 9, including the gunman, who I believe killed himself. And we had a show about gun control last week. It's still something we're grappling about, and we got to figure this out. People should not be anywhere in fear for their lives, but especially at work and at church. So we just want to send our condolences to those people. We also want to give a shout out to one of my favorite people, as um, Reverend Wright used to call him, the blackest white man he knew.
Okay.
He used to say that with Father Flager would do 7 last words. And Father Flager, who was taken out of the pulpit at St. Sabina in Chicago, for those of you who all don't know, Father Flager he's really, people know him all over the world, really. And he does a lot of work within the community. And he was accused of sexual allegations a few months ago, and they set him down, and he wasn't preaching for a few months. And he has been reinstated, and he will be back in the pulpit next week, I believe the first Sunday in June. So
June
we are
6th.
happy about that. Father Flager also, for me, it's very personal. His assistant, former assistant, for years, over 20 years, was my cousin. Some of you all may know him, Vince Clark. And Vince
Okay.
died in a car accident and left a teenage son. And Father Flager has been a surrogate to my cousin. Has helped my cousin-in-law out with Chaz. Chaz graduated from Marion High School last week with honors and is going Marist High School and is going to Xavier on a baseball and academic full scholarship. So Father Flager has really helped my family, helped the son of Vince, and so that's personal for me. Do we have any other this week commemorated um, a year since
Yes.
the murder of George Floyd?
Yes.
I know you and Art talked about it. Well, Art had a special show
He did.
with men. Did you have any thoughts about that, Kay?
You
Um, Go
I
ahead.
remember when it happened and then seeing the video. And I was just really aghast when I saw the video. Um, but looking at it a year later, what has changed? A lot has changed. One, it was just that it was the video that was shown all over the world. And then people were like, enough is enough. That's
Yeah,
when the spark hit about social injustice, racial injustice. We
yeah,
as black women, we as black people, we've seen this time and time again. There are too many to name, but
yeah,
with George Floyd, and again, let's give homage to the young teenage girl who shot that video
yes. I can't
and
remember her name.
posted it
Yeah,
all over the world. And she
yeah,
had to deal with some serious issues once she posted that uploaded that video.
right.
Um, as a result of his murder, I never forget his daughter said, "My daddy changed the
Change
world."
the world.
And
Yeah,
he has. And we hope that we will have a George Floyd bill that will reduce. We talked about gun control, but obviously, police officers need to be more accountable of what they do. And it
yeah,
seems as if now, I think, Kim, that people are being their own videographers now. They have no
yeah,
choice. Because you think about it, 40 years ago, we had no cell phones.
yeah,
And black people were still getting murdered, and it was always he said, the police and other people. So now the doors are opening now. It may be
yeah,
slow, but progress is happening, and baby steps are taking place. And I'm
yeah,
sure George is looking down. One of the good things, he is reunited by his mom, because as you remember in the video, he
On
called
his
out for
mother.
his mother. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they're together, and I'm
Yeah.
sure he's watching over his baby Gianna.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, this is going to open, and I'm sure we're going to be doing conversations, serious, candid conversations about race. Because I don't know if you have been subjected, but I have throughout my life. And it is
Hmm.
something that my parents never wanted for me, because they were raised in the South. They've experienced what racism was about, and they never
Hmm.
wanted that for me. But
Right.
unfortunately, though, we live in a world where people who are just that way, because some are ignorant, and
Yeah.
some feel white privilege is real. It's not.
Uh-huh.
It's not a good thing, but it's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
to answer your question, Kim, um, things have changed, but there's still a lot that needs to be changed, and
Yeah.
we'll just
It
have to wait and see.
yeah. You know, it does you want it to change, and then another video comes up
Yeah.
and you hear about other things. And the thing that gets me is not so much the videos that I see, but I think about the ones that I don't see.
Exactly.
I think about, because those men that killed that gentleman in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't put any of that. They said that the man died in a car crash.
Right. Lied. Not they lied. Not
Right,
said they lied.
right.
Let's keep it real.
And what if there was no video?
Right.
Then that
Right.
family would think that, and there would be no accountability. Those people would still, well, they were on the force. One of them died, and they would be able to do it to someone else.
I mean, think about Emmett Till, Kim.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The fact that the white lady who claimed that, he only whistled at her, everybody thought he had done something to her, and she
Right.
agreed. And now, before, I think she's no longer on this earth, but
Yeah, I think she died a couple years ago.
she revealed that she lied. I'm like, okay.
So in as we deal with race, this is the 100th commemoration of the Tulsa massacre.
Mm.
It happened 100 years ago this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The massacre began during a Memorial Day weekend after a 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, a 17-year-old white elevator operator near the Drexel building. He was taken into custody. Rumors spread through the city that Rowland was to be lynched. Upon hearing the reports that a mob, hundreds of white men had gathered around the jail where Rowland was being kept, and a group of 75 black men, some of whom were armed, arrived at the jail to ensure that Rowland would not be lynched. The sheriff persuaded the group to leave the jail, assuring them that the situation was under control. As the group left the premises with the sheriff's request, a member of the mob, the white, allegedly attempted to disarm one of the black men. A shot was fired, and as someone said, all hell broke loose. Um, just to say this, about 10,000 houses were burned, people were killed, people became homeless. 10,000 black people were left homeless. Property damage was 1.5 million. That's equivalent to $32 million in 2020. Um, this is important to note. I believe that 300 people were killed. Okay, is that right?
Um. Well, they still don't have an accurate count, but in looking at, they said there was a commission that examined the events and was able to confirm 39 dead, 26 black, 13 white. And then the commission gave several estimates ranging from 75 to 300. But more than 800 people were admitted to hospitals, and
Right.
so as many as 6,000 black residents were interned in large facilities for several days. This was based upon the Oklahoma Bureau of Vital
Mm-hmm.
Statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So,
And what's important to note about this community was known as Black Wall Street. It was in
right.
Greenwood. I've been in this community. I've seen the monument to the people for that died during that time. In fact, my sister-in-law preached at a church that was not too far from where this occurred over a year ago. This was a thriving Black community. Doctors, lawyers, plumbers, people who were entrepreneurs. We talked about entrepreneurs, people who were entrepreneurs doing what you're supposed to do. Go to school, get a trade, take care of your kids, buy a home, be responsible. They were living the American dream. And for some of you, it was like Rosewood,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was like this was their community and they were thriving. So this wasn't just about that elevator operator. This
No.
was about a number of people that were jealous because
That's right.
Black people were doing their own thing.
That's right. That's exactly
And it was
right.
destroyed.
Yep.
And 100 years later, those people still, as far as I know, because they were talking about it on CNN, have not gotten any reparations.
At
And
all.
people are still looking for reparations. And that's why the older lady, Miss Fletcher, Viola Fletcher, at 107 years old, 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
came to the Capitol to talk about how this was her first time in Washington, D.C., so that she could get justice from her country.
Yep.
And I know you saw that, Kay.
Oh my God. That to see Mrs. Fletcher so eloquent, so with such conviction, let Congress know this cannot ever happen again, but there needs to be justice with her 100-year-old brother at her side, speaking of the aftermath that she spoke of it eloquently as it happened
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. She was 7, ladies
Mm-hmm.
and gents, when
Yes.
the massacre took place. And
Right.
she was able to recall all the memories of that fateful day. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that she's alive to tell the tale. I'm also glad. I'm sure you heard that our favorite couple, Angela Bassett and Courtney Vance, they're going to be doing a series of the Tulsa race massacre, which is going to educate people. Because I did see a video, and I think I sent it to you, of where the governor wants to make sure that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, that if it's so dangerous to talk about this, that he doesn't want it to be really uh, recognized. And I'm like, you can't whitewash history. That's like saying, we're going to not say anything about the Holocaust. This was our Holocaust. What happened in 1921? um it's happening with most black area. You go to Memphis near Beale Street. What happened with Ida B. Wells had to leave her famous Memphis to come to Chicago. You talked about Rosewood, where there were just growing African American communities thriving, and unfortunately there were people who just did not like what black people were doing, so they had to burn it and shut it down.
Yeah.
um
This is a big thing here that's happening in this country where people don't want to teach critical race theory. And it
no.
is a big thing here in Oklahoma City. It was the House Floor Bill of 1775. My brother, along with, and sister in law, along with a number of other ministers, went to meet with the governor so that he would not sign that bill. The good thing is that the Board of Education found that bill to be very ignorant and do not want to abide by those rules. But this is going on all over the country. As far as this going on in Oklahoma City, there were two commissions about this whole thing. One was, I guess, the white one, and one was the black one.
Mm-hmm.
And the white one was the white who was putting together this big concert with John Legend and Stacey Abrams
Right.
put it together, but was not giving any of the proceeds to the survivors or the Black community. And Governor Stitt was on that committee, and so was my other senator, whose name I can't remember right now. That's probably because I don't want to, because he voted against having the commission today. But they have been taken off of the commission altogether. So that concert and Stacey Abrams' part was canceled because of all of this controversy. Now they are going to have, like, I think John P. Keys is singing tonight. I think Paul Morton is going to, which I would love to go to. Paul Morton is going to be there tomorrow. They're having a series of, they have all kind of stuff there this weekend. I wish my uncle was alive. I tried to have his daughter on the show. He had an office. He was an attorney. He was one of the first Black representatives in Oklahoma City. He's in the museum here. And he had a office on Greenwood.
Okay.
On Greenwood. And you can go down there and see the murals. They're trying to rebuild it up again. Like I said, there's a statue commemorating that. You know, it's just one of many stories that Black people have been stripped of their dignity.
Yes.
And people think that we just sit and complain, and we just complain. We don't, you know, Dr. King said it best. All that we say to America, the night before he was assassinated, Dr. King said, all that we say to America is be true to what you said on paper.
That's
Life, liberty,
and
the pursuit of happiness.
happiness.
That's it. People want a nice place to live, a nice job, a hot dog, a glass of wine, and we're going to be about our business. And a car for some of us. That's how people don't want extra. We just want fairness. And if something has been done to us in the name of America, then there should be reparations for that.
That's right.
People say, well, we should just move on.
No.
You all haven't moved on from the election in November.
Thank you.
You all are still counting ballots in Arizona and talking about doing it in Georgia. And this man is in office. He done passed bills and getting ready to go to meet with Putin next month. All we want is fairness and for people to.
He's about his business. They need to be
Right.
about theirs. How about that?
You say forget about it, but then you want to have these statues of these Southern Confederate soldiers who were treasonous against this country. These people were treasonous. And you want us to have these statues of these Civil War Confederate soldiers. These people didn't think that I was a human being. Why do I want to sit and look at a statue? Please. So, you know, we honor all of those people who died and were displaced during the Tulsa massacre.
Yes.
We honor them this weekend. We hope that their dying will not be in vain. Many of their descendants are going to be speaking around the country. One of the gentlemen who just received his PhD, who belonged to my church, his name is Stevie Johnson. He has a documentary on the History Channel this weekend. I wish I had the name of it, but I'll put it on our page.
Please do.
CNN is doing a documentary on Monday night. MSNBC, I believe, is doing something on Monday night. Educate yourself about this.
Yes.
Educate yourself about this. And if you watch the series Lovecraft Country, I believe in the second to last episode, they deal with this in a very unique way. So that's what I have to say about that. So we honor those people who died. We wish we could say all of your names. I believe they say Ashe. And I'm sure that you are living, resting with the angels. And we hope that we make you proud with things that will go on this weekend. Any other words about that, Kay?
No, I'm just the part I'm glad to know about it now. I wish I had known about this when I was in school because I did not. I had to learn about this as an adult. Didn't learn about this in school.
No. Just like
And
Hidden
that
Figures. Just like
right.
Hidden Figures.
Exactly. That's my only. If I don't like to live life with, I don't like to live regrets, but that is a regret. I'm glad to know it now, but I wish I had known that in school.
You know, we as a people have to do better about telling our history.
Yes, we
The
do.
Jews have a saying, never forget. Never forget.
That's right.
The famous Nobel Prize winner, Eli Wiesel, who I had the pleasure of seeing speak at the Holocaust Museum,
Mm-hmm.
that was his mission. He wrote the famous book Night, where he talked about his days at Auschwitz with his being there with his father
Mm-hmm.
until his father died. And that's the mission of the Jewish community as far as the Holocaust. Because those who do not learn from history
Are
are
destined
doomed
to
to
repeat
repeat.
it. That's right.
And it's what's interesting is, and I hope this doesn't sound too far off. I had looked a while ago at a documentary about Jim Jones,
Hmm.
and one of the ladies was talking about how manipulative this man was and the things he did. And there was something that she said that sent a chill down my back. She said, and when I see something similar to this happening on the world stage now, it scares me. She was
Mm-hmm.
talking about the last president.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm. Now, it's not the same thing, but it's the same type of manipulative behavior
Exactly.
where only I have the answers, only I can help you. I am the savior. I can do this. And unless you are loyal to me, harm will come to you. And we cannot let that happen again.
No.
Not at all.
We cannot let what happened on January 6th ever happen again. And those Republicans who voted against the commission to find out what the hell happened on January 6th, I just have one thing to say. Karma is a very patient
I said that today.
gangster. Remember that.
Yes. So for those of you all who are just joining us, we know about the echo. We're just using live stream for the first time tonight. So it'll just have to be what it can be. We'll try to fix it next time. For those of you all who are just joining us, this is Candid Conversations with K and K. We are really having a candid conversation. We are talking about a little bit of everything tonight, and we ask some of you all are joining us, and we are welcoming you all who are here. And those of you all who listen to it later, we know that some people, COVID is almost. I was invited to a party tonight, and I was like, "Party? What is that? What is this? These things that you do?" People talk like going to a party.
Oh
I
my
ain't been to
goodness.
a party since Pup was a pup. But it was all of these rules. You had to bring your vaccination card,
Of
and you had to
course.
have your mask,
Of
and you had to.
course.
And I was like, "Well, dog, y'all, I finished doing all that. I'm tired, and I want to go to bed,
I don't think
and
I,
I
I
got
don't
to
think
do
I'm
all of this."
I don't think I'm ready to go to party, although I will be at a very good party.
Yes,
Speaking of our dear
yes,
big brother, Poobah,
yes,
the Grand Poobah, Mr. Art Chat Daddy Sims. He
yes,
turns his relationship chats what he is known for.
yes,
Turns 26. So
yes,
he is having a party to celebrate that.
yes, yes,
So for those who are in the Chicagoland area, mark your calendars for June 13th. You can go onto his website, therealchatdaddy.com, and if you want to register to come to to meet him, to meet myself, and meet some other folks that you want to, summer's about to hit. I know some of us have that pre or post COVID weight to get
We're
off, to
not gonna
drop
talk
off
about
them
that. We're not gonna talk
pounds.
about it. We're not gonna talk about
Don't, honey, I'm one of those people. Don't get it twisted. But
it.
come. We're gonna have fun. The cost is $26. As I said, please go on Art's website at therealchatdaddy.com to register. But not only that, before you come, if you want to know about how to successfully build your brand,
Yeah.
go to booking. You can send an email to register at booking at therealchatdaddy.com to register for a master class on
Right.
Saturday, June the
Right.
12th from 11 a.m. So both Kim and I were one of his students in his first class, and I can tell you, you learn a lot. He'll
Yeah.
give you a to register once you've your paid registration after the class. He will give you a 30-minute a consultation of what you're doing right, what needs to be tweaking, and it's just a really now in this digital age, if you want to have more exposure in what you do, whether it's you speak, whether it's you write, whether if you're a chef, if you're an inventor, if you just really want to say, how do I get noticed,
Yeah. You should
we
be in a
encourage
class.
you to take his master class on Saturday, June the 12th. And if you're in Chicago, you want to party, come on, stop downtown in the South Loop to meet him and a few other folks on Sunday, June the 13th.
So Art owes us like $100 for
Yes,
that
he
promo.
does.
I hope that the check is in the mail
Yeah.
or the PayPal or
I'll
the
probably get
Cash
an
App.
increase in my salary, right? We
Oh
love you,
man.
sweetie. Don't. We
So
love you dearly.
we are on YouTube for the first time tonight. We want you to
Yes.
subscribe to our YouTube channel. You should
Yes.
see the link on our page. We're going to be
Subscribe.
building that
Yes.
up and everything.
And hit that and bang that notifications bell, because that way you'll get a lot of good information about what we do, and if
Right.
get notifications on any new shows, and we will definitely be putting encore performances on YouTube. So this is something that actually came out just to let you know, for those who are tuned into us via YouTube, how we got started. Let's just talk about that briefly.
Go
As
ahead.
maybe some of you know, or maybe don't know, I'm also the guest co-host with Art Chat Daddy Sims at therealchatdaddy.com. Well, last year, the latter part of last year, my lovely podcasting sister, Miss Kim Coleman, was a recurring guest, as she is excellent on political commentary, if you haven't guessed. So we have done shows together, the three of us. And one day she called me earlier this year. She said, Kay, I'm having some problems dating. I'm trying to date in this pandemic. And
Don't tell all my business.
That's how it happened, right? We go, what they say, tell the truth, shame the devil. Well, she said, would you mind helping doing a podcast about dating? You've dated, right? And I was like, I don't be dating now, but I was before pandemic, the queen of online dating. For those who know me, yes, I did a lot of online dating. But I said, yeah, let's do this. I said yes, and so we talked about it. We said, okay, we're gonna. I'll find a platform to do it in, and we'll just have our first show on February 12th, and that's how. First, it was dating during the pandemic. That was the initial name of the show. Then Miss Angel Gaines, who was a wonderful comedian.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about dating, but during the conversation, ladies and gents, she talked about a lot of different things. She got candid with us.
She did.
Now, hear what I said. She got candid with us.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we were like, wait a minute.
We got to take this to another direction.
We got to take this to a different level. Let's call it Kandid Konversations with K
and K.
And K.
Yep.
And that's how we started on February 12th, 2021. And we
K hasn't killed me yet.
No, of course I'm not going to do that. I shower you with love, and also, people who know me know my background. I am very meticulous, so I say things with love, because it only helps us grow. But
Yeah.
the thing about it is, and this is what I love about Kim, she is very passionate about making sure that we as black people, preferably black women, have a voice. Because I can personally tell you, in my 53 years on this planet, there's some people don't think I have a voice. And some people say I talk too much. Well, guess what? It's okay. Because I learned how to speak, and I speak very articulately, especially when it comes to saying what I feel. So I
Right.
found
Right.
she's my yin to my yang,
Yeah, yeah. We
and
balance each
I
other out
and
very well.
and we are just making sure that we have a voice in this world, and we want to help each of you be empowered, be inspired, be motivated, but at all the time, we are always going to keep it real with you. Period.
Right. And you can always catch Kay or with her nuggets, K and K Nuggets, Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge.com. You can see it right there. I'm trying
Yep.
to learn how to do this sticker.
We get there.
And this is I don't know how art does this. I really
Hey,
don't.
that's why he is the grand poobah. There,
I'm just
okay?
like, I'm
Because
trying to do this and look at people's questions, and there's a lot going on over here.
we're
But
getting
anyway,
there.
welcome to you all who are here tonight. We're
Yes.
glad that we're talking about a little bit of everything. I do have some news. I think most people know this. Let me just announce this here. As many of you know, a few months ago during the pandemic, I decided to take acting classes. And I started, I think in September. I've taken some really great ones with some people who are very well known in the Hollywood area, and have been, mixing and mingling. And last Friday, I got a part in a local play. I'm playing 3 characters combined. It's called Shaking the Mess Out of Misery. I haven't gotten the script yet. I think that's coming tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'll have more information about that as time goes on. So I hope that you all, be with me on my journey. I'll be talking about it and nervous about memorizing these lines at the age of 54.
Hey.
And so we're excited. And I have some other things coming up that I'll share that I'm excited about as well. Okay. Just to go back.
And here's
Go
the
ahead.
thing. One thing I like is the fact that we want to hear from you as well, ladies and gents. If there are any topics that you feel we can talk about and have a good candid conversation, please feel free. You can go on our Facebook page at candidconversations.com, or Candid Conversations with K and K, excuse me. You can go to Kim's personal page at Kimberly A. Coleman, as well as my page, either Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge, Facebook, Karen's _Nuggets via Instagram, or my Facebook page at K. Renee Mason. So we want to be able to bring to you topics that, I like to call us the female Bernie Mac. Right? Because we're going to talk about things that everybody want to talk about, but afraid to.
See,
we not
afraid. We have some great shows coming out talking about healthiness and well-being. Mm-hmm. We also have some shows that are really geared towards late night conversation. And you'll see those shows. We'll say more about this, but next week I will be on vacation. I'm going to be able to see my parents for the first time in 18 months. I'm excited about that. So we will do an encore show of our Mother's Day show as we prepare for Father's Day. So look out for that next week. And we'll be back the following week with a show about veganism. And being vegan. A lot of people are on that kick. A lot of people have really started to do that during this pandemic. Mm-hmm. They had an article, an AARP article, and they said that Black women during this pandemic have been really trying to get their health together and their skincare together. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was very interesting that people wanted to do that. I know I've been trying to work on my skin. What I noticed is, when I try to do, we'll have a show about this, expensive stuff, that don't work. But when I do the basic things, that's when I have the best skin. I'm not even going to say how much, I spent on some products, and my skin just went, like, we're not bougie here. Just get some Neutrogena wipes and some Vaseline,
Hello.
and let's call it a day. I said,
Amen.
okay, well, yeah. So that didn't work out so well, me trying, because I said, well, I want to use. So we're gonna have someone come on and talk about skincare in a few weeks and talk about that. Did you want to start talking about the insurrection
Um.
or the voting today?
Well, I mean,
Hi, hi mommy.
hi, Miss Marietta. I know you can't wait to see your baby girl. She coming. She's coming. I can't wait to meet you. I'm hoping to meet you real soon, Miss Marietta. That's Kim's mom. So
Yes.
she's Miss Marietta and me.
She's
um,
white.
regarding the insurrection, I mean we've talked about it during this conversation. Over the senators, the in the Senate, was it 30 of them? Because I posted on my Facebook feed how many the names of the ingrates that did not vote for this insurrection commission to
And 10
investigate
of
what
them
happened.
didn't come to the vote at all. One of them was my Inhofe, was one of my senators, who didn't vote at all. Didn't two were Democrats who didn't make it to the vote. For those of you all who don't know, there was voting on a commission to be held. The House voted on it first. We have a commission to investigate what happened on January 6th and to really get to the bottom line. This was considered a terrorism, and it was considered domestic terrorism. And then
Absolutely.
whenever there's something about this magnitude, there's always a commission.
Right.
So just like there was a 9/11 commission, and that 9/11 commission produced a book, and the book was a #1 bestseller.
Mm-hmm.
And so people wanted to get to the bottom of it. Yesterday, the mother and the partner, a girlfriend of one of the police officers that died, asked to meet with some of the senators to
She
talk
sure
to them
did.
about, their vote today.
Right.
Some of them wouldn't even meet with them. And along in that meeting were a couple of the police officers, one of them black, who talked to them. And the mother was interviewed on Jake Tapper today, and she said, knowing that some of them wouldn't even meet with her, and even the ones that did were just putting on a face, that broke my heart. How can you sit across from a woman who lost her child and say, we're not going to even look into this. We're not going to look into this. This person who died was there to protect you
Right.
and your staff. And these people who are the staff, these are young folks,
Mm-hmm.
right out of college. Some of them interns. So, I don't know where this goes from here. They said that now Nancy Pelosi can set up a committee to do this. This was supposed to be bipartisan. They had come up with a plan to put this together, had conceded to everything that Republicans wanted. And Mitch McConnell had a meeting with the senators and said he thought it would be a personal favor to him for them to vote against it.
And I posted on my feed, and I'll say it again for those who didn't hear me. Karma is a very patient gangster. So for those individuals who get paid to represent their constituents, for those who chose not to vote for this, karma is a very patient gangster.
And see, the thing about it is, I don't know what the motivation is. I don't know if this is to protect Donald Trump. I don't know if it's even to protect them. Something happened that day that somebody wants to be real quiet. Because when I was watching it, where was the National Guard? Where was all the other police officers? Somebody stopped that day. I don't know if it was Donald Trump, because from my understanding, Mike Pence got on the phone and was asking where was everybody at. And he couldn't get Donald Trump on the phone. And also, from my understanding, Donald Trump was in there cheering the people on.
Of course he was.
And Kevin McCartney called him and said, could you get somebody down here? And Donald Trump said, those people love America or are concerned about this more than you. And Kevin McCartney said, who in the hell do you think you're talking to? Now, when he was asked about that on Fox News by, I'm about to say Mike Wallace, Chris Wallace, he wouldn't answer the question. And so what they're trying to do is stop him from testifying. But see, daylight is the world's best disinfectant. We will find out what happened.
Yep.
You know, and as they were doing this, those police officers were still there in that Capitol protecting them.
That's right.
Those police officers, do some people say, still have PTSD. Mm-hmm. Some of the police officers are not there, and two committed suicide.
Yes.
And you know, I don't want to overtalk. Go ahead.
No. I mean, it's unfortunate at what's happened since. And it's sad that we have put people in office who just really don't give a damn. They're just very self-absorbed. And what is dark will always come to light. And that's coming. So for those who feel your vote or your voice does not count, yes, it does. You call your state representative. You call your senator, even though if it was one of those senators listed that did not vote. You call and say, what's going on here? You have that right.
Mm-hmm. And democracy is not a spectator sport.
No.
And it is a 365-day sport.
Yes, it is.
Every day. And we have to participate. Here's the thing. We pay taxes. We pay all of these people's salaries. That comes from us. So guess what? If you work for a company and you work for them, they don't just hire you and go, okay, do the job. No. They're on, did you do this? Did you do this? Mm-hmm. And that's how we have to be as well.
That's right.
So that's what I have to say about that. Anything else?
Well, given the fact we're going to close shortly, but this is Memorial Day weekend, and we wanted to give you just a few tips on or things to remember about Memorial Day, which people may not know about, right? Number one, Memorial Day began as a response to the Civil War. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. I did my research, but go ahead.
But for those who did not, let me just read this piece here. Memorial Day was a response to the unprecedented carnage of the Civil War, of which a total of 620,000 soldiers died. The loss of life.
Look at me.
Happy birthday. Look at you. But this Memorial Day came as a result of the Civil War. That's number one. Number two, guess who started it? His name was Major General John A. Logan, made Memorial Day official. Okay. Let me just give you a little background about this man. General Logan, the speaker at the Carbondale gathering, was also the commander of the Grand Army of the Republic, an organization of Union veterans. So on May 5th, 1868, he issued General Order Number 11, which set aside May 30th, 1868, for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in the defense of their country during the late rebellion.
Okay.
Number three, Memorial Day was originally known as Decoration Day. Didn't know this. This holiday was long known as Decoration Day for the practice of decorating graves with flowers, wreaths, and flags. The name Memorial Day goes back to 1882, but the older name didn't disappear until after World War II. So it
Right.
wasn't until 1967, the year I was born, that federal law declared Memorial Day the official name. Number four, Memorial Day is more of a franchise than a national holiday. So if you call Memorial Day a national holiday, is a bit of this misnomer. While there are 10 federal holidays created by Congress, including Memorial Day, they apply only to federal employees in the District of Columbia. Interesting enough.
Hmm.
Let's see what else. Let's see. There's
Well,
not.
while you're doing that, it comes right on time because we have that cluster of, for those who have those government holidays, we have that Columbus Day, Veterans Day, then Thanksgiving and Christmas, then Martin Luther King Day, and for some of us, President's Day. And then there's that lull. Because I remember, I remember looking at work going, okay, no days off in March, no days off in April, May, Memorial Day. So it comes right on time.
Well, I'm going to give this last one here. There were 10, but there's one here that was interesting. This last tidbit is Memorial Day has its own set of customs. Well, no, that's one, but here's one. The last one. Each Memorial Day is a little different, which we know, right? Because it's always the fourth Monday.
Right.
It's fourth Monday.
One,
So
two,
there's no.
three, four. Yeah. Well, no, this is going to be the fifth Monday.
Fifth Monday. Thank you. So there's no question that Memorial Day is a bit different, right? But so don't feel too guilty by doing something frivolous like what's hosting a barbecue over the weekend. After all, you weren't the only one who instituted the Indianapolis 500 on May 30th, 1911.
Right.
So, in all, when you celebrate Memorial Day, the main purpose is for those individuals who served, who are no longer here. And it's not just, to me, it's not just for that. It's for anyone who has passed on. You want to memorialize them, right? And you go, because for myself, I would typically go out to visit both of my parents and just kind of have a moment of silence. But my dad did serve; he was a veteran. But think about this day. To just give homage to those individuals who served our country, to those individuals that you loved and adored that are no longer with you, but also to take time to just be reflective.
Yeah. Well, we honor those who have served and who have gone on to glory. I honor my grandfather, mine is Jordan, my uncle Curtis Lawson, who had the office on Greenwood, my uncle LB, and a host of my other family members that I don't even know who I don't remember who served, and we honor all of those who served and who gave their lives so that we can have this freedom to even have this show. We are able to talk about whatever we want to talk about, pretty much, and that is the freedom of speech, which is one of the greatest freedoms. And so we honor those who died. One of the greatest things that I would ever do when I lived in DC was go to Arlington Cemetery and see all of those graves and watch the changing of the guard. Yeah, that was always, very somber. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, I think he's known now, and Kennedy graves and people like that. So that was always something to see. Okay. Anything else before we begin our weekend?
Well, just for all of you, thank you so much for tuning in to our new platform.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get it right.
We're gonna get it right. We know it's feedback.
Yes, and we're gonna take baby steps. We're so grateful to you, our audience, for tuning in, to supporting us since the inception in February, and we're just very grateful. And we're looking forward to bringing you great stories, very good, powerful, and poignant, candid conversations. So I'm wishing you a very happy, safe Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget, COVID is still out there. You gotta do what, as we always say, when you're going, especially traveling, wear that mask. If you have, make sure you have this. And even
And hand
though
sanitizer.
they're not promoting physical distancing, but if you know someone has not been properly vaccinated, tell them, hey, you got to stay at 6 feet.
Yes.
I would
Yes.
appreciate that. And but be
Yes.
safe, because this is a holiday weekend. I live in Chicago. Kim lives in Oklahoma City, but we're having too many there's too much gun violence. So just please be aware of your surroundings on this weekend and every day. And we look
Right.
forward to seeing you live
In a
on this
couple weeks.
in a couple weeks. So
So I sign off to say pray to God, praise God, and push for whatever it is you want. I'm a believer in that mantra. And with that said, this has been Candid Conversations with K and K. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to us gab. And we'll see you next week. Same bad time, same
same
bad
bad
channel.
channel. Bye
Bye, guys.
guys. Be safe.